Hey, welcome back, family, to Getting Hype with Ash. Hello, I am your host, Ashley, and I'm so glad you guys are back with me today. I hope this episode finds you smiling, just grinning, all teeth. Yes, I love it. Um, Today we're going to jump right into it. I want to share with y'all one of my favorite phrases in the English language. My favorite. It's made up of two words, super simple. We think it, we say it, we use it, we probably write it very often. And it's a powerful phrase. The phrase is I am. That's it. That's it. It's the phrase. I love that phrase. I love that phrase. One of the reasons I love this phrase is because I grew up in a Southern Baptist home. So we were in church quite often, like every Sunday, if not Sunday and Wednesday. And in Sunday school class, we learned about Moses. And if you don't know about Moses, Moses was this guy who got adopted. And he was chilling, and then he realized that the people who adopted him were treating his people wrong, like just wrong, just whack. And so he got upset and took matters into his own hands and did some things he shouldn't have done and had to flee. And in hiding and trying to be on the DL and not get got, um, he ran into a burning bush. Yes, like a bush, like the plant, and it was burning, and the bush spoke, and the bush said, "I am, I am that I am, I am." Powerful phrase. Um, it's a phrase used in the Bible quite often to refer to God, and it is also a phrase we use to start our affirmations. I don't know if you know what an affirmation is. An affirmation is a group of words you put together to affirm the things that you are and want to become. And when we think of affirmations, the first two words that come to mind for me is I am. Just say it with me. Say it with me. I am. I am alone is a sentence, is a statement. But when you add words to that, you begin to speak things into existence about who you are as a person and as an individual. So those two words are very important because we use them all the time, consciously or unconsciously. We say them and use them in our thoughts. We might even write them down when we're talking to a friend or chit-chatting, but they're powerful. And so the things that we say them and how we use that phrase according to ourselves begins to take life. And we begin to walk in that way and see ourselves in that way as well. So I want to do an activity with you. I want you to do this activity. So I hope you have a pen and paper. Maybe you have your phone, you have your notes open or your tablet. Um, Even if you like drawing, this is the activity that I want to take place. For parent and for teen, both of you are going to do this activity. If someone came up to you today and asked you, "Tell me, who are you? Who are you?" What are the I am statements you would say? And I want you to take a second because we're very quick to say what we think other people would want us to say. We're very quick to sugarcoat how we talk to ourselves. But I want this to be a moment of realization and connection with yourself. I want you to think about what you say to yourself when you look in the mirror in the morning. I want you to think about what you say to yourself when you have a hard moment, whether it be you didn't get the grade you wanted on an exam, or someone at work didn't say something to you in a correct way, or maybe a boss didn't react to the work that you turned in the way you thought they would. I want you to think about the moments when there is conflict between you and your teen or you and your parents. What are the words you say to yourself? What are the words you say to yourself when you are alone and no one is there? I want you to write down those statements that come to mind, all of them, and then we'll be right back. Welcome back. So, one of the things that I do um, that has taken me it's taken me a minute to get it into my daily routine, but now that I have it, it's super important to me, and now it comes more naturally. But uh, one of my daily practices is my affirmation statements, and I did not always get affirmations. I was one of the people who just kind of thought you just said random things that you wished or you wanted, kind of like when you blow out candles on a birthday cake, like, I hope I will one day be. Um, but once I began researching affirmations and the actual science um, and psychology behind it, it was amazing to me that studies show that when you use these affirmations, they begin to change the way you see and think about yourself. And we all know that once you create a thought and once you speak something, you begin to live it once you continue to tell yourself a thing over and over again. And the thing about affirmations is it's not just like, I am a millionaire, and then you become a millionaire. It is the thought process behind the phrase. When I teach somebody about affirmations, I usually start by saying, what is a thought you want to change? What's a thought you currently have that is not serving you? It's not beneficial to you, and it's not helping you grow. You pick that negative phrase. And then I ask, how would you create a positive phrase in its place? And most people have a hard time doing it because we tend to be our hardest critics, and it takes a moment to realize it's okay to be nice and kind to yourself, to be gracious with yourself. And affirmations, that's the first thing affirmations teach you, is to be kind to yourself. Um, we're taught and it's instilled in us to be our own worst critic. And isn't that sad? Like, that is a phrase that everybody says and knows. And so we want to not be our worst critic. Like, that's not okay. It's not okay. We should be our best, hypest person to encourage us. We should be our best cheerleader. And so the person will take the time and create a positive phrase. And those phrases usually begin with I can, I will, I have. But if those still don't feel right and feels like fake, like you're being fake to yourself, um, some phrases that I know people will use is may I. And it's kind of getting that's a phrase that helps you kind of get to the I am, May I have grace with myself, if you wish for that to be an affirmation, or may I listen with more intent. May I move in love. Another phrase that might work is um, I will. I will is another one that kind of is, giving space for growth. I think sometimes people might get a little intimidated by I have, I can, and I can, I have, I can, and I am. I will and may I both allow space for people to grow in that confidence, and then they can move and change it to an I have or I can or I am. So hopefully that helps you with that part of it. But affirmations are a way of changing your thinking and creating a reality and a space where you can grow and do better and think better about yourself and speak better about yourself. Affirmations are used to help build self esteem, to help change your mindset about things that maybe you were taught as a child. If you're an adult and you're listening, um, it's a way to encourage yourself to do things that may be necessary but uncomfortable, or necessary and might be hard. It is a way to heal and move past things. And so affirmations just have so many sides to them, and I use them in my work with my teens and with adults who are doing inner teen work and with my parents, because we all have those phrases that are harmful and that are not of use to us. And some of those have been given to us the moment we open our eyes and we can understand a phrase. Some things are built into us from society, and we need to be mindful of them because they do affect us. And so it's not enough to just recognize it, but you have to pull it out and replace it with something that does pour into yourself and how you speak about yourself, look at yourself, and think about yourself. So affirmations are super powerful. It is not a just I say it and I do it. It's a I think it, I say it. Now, how can I be the person to instill and live that phrase? So if I am struggling with watching my words, oof, watching my words, and I say, I am intentful with my words, I can say it and still not do that. But then I need to put in the time and effort and say, okay, and in what words and in what ways can I be more intentful or move and speak with intent? Well, how about I slow down and think about my words before I say them? How about I change my vocabulary and learn some new ones and practice those? How about if I'm in a moment and I'm emotionally charged, I ask the person to give me time to think? So then you begin to do those practices in conjunction with using that phrase daily. So you're saying, you're thinking, and then you're doing, and then in that begins to come the change. So if you have not started using affirmations, I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to do so. And hopefully my explanation kind of, gives a different spin on it to you. But they are very, very powerful. And you can use them as a family. You can use them to encourage your teens. I know for my family, I am affirmations with my sons as I'm doing their hair. My fiance does and writes I am affirmations on their mirror, and they say them while they're brushing their teeth or after they get out of the shower. So those are just a couple ideas, but there's so many ways you can use them for yourself and your teen as you're working on being kind and gentle and gracious with yourself. So, yeah, I hope that helps. So, what I want you to do with this list of affirmations that you have is I want you to take the time to, one, recognize the beautiful things you've said about yourself. Yay! I want you to think about maybe some on that list that you're like, do I really feel that about myself? Did someone say that and I kind of took it on as my own? And really kind of chew on that. And then are any of them on there harmful to you? Or did you leave the harmful ones out? And what are those? Because we're not going to cheat ourselves on doing this work, right? We want to grow. So that means being honest. Are there I am affirmations that either you have said in the past that you are currently saying to yourself, or maybe someone around you is saying things and you're starting to build an affirmation within yourself, and you're like, no, not that. Uh, what are those? And so, in those positive affirmations, keep those. We want that. Keep at it. The ones that are not yours and you kind of feel out they're out of place, I just want you to recognize that how easy it is for other people's opinions to start seeping into our own. And this is a good moment to really think about what we watch, what we listen to, and who we hang out around. This is for mom, dad, and for teen. Um, those things start to seep in, and then they kind of disguise themselves as our own words when they're really not. And then the negative ones that we have, where are those coming from? And in what way can you change that? So here's the work that you can do with your parent, with your teen. I want you to talk about those the ones that hurt, the ones that don't feel good, the ones that are not serving you and are not uplifting you. I want you to both take the time to share those. This is going to call for you to be transparent. And I encourage my parents to not feel the need to be perfect in front of your child. I encourage my parents to not feel the need or fear for them to see you as being human, because that's what you are. And that is a beautiful thing, understanding and seeing your parent be a parent. And teens, I want you to use this space to allow room for your parents to get to know some of the things that you're struggling with. And that might be a little bit uncomfortable for you to share because um, you're being vulnerable, they're being vulnerable, but this is a moment, and I want you guys to take complete advantage of it and use this to talk about how you can change those phrases. I want you to give space to each other to share and a moment to change those affirmations for yourselves, and then come together and share what you're changing them to. You can pick all of them or just a few, however you guys want to do it. I'm leaving that up to you, but this is the homework. This is the podcast. This is how we doing things. Here we're getting hype with Ash. We're getting hype about health and communication and being honest and having real, honest ground for the work that needs to be done so that we make sure that everyone in the house is working from a healthy, growing place emotionally, mentally. So we're here. We're doing this. You guys got this. So that's your homework. Um, Feel free to share with me how that goes. Contact me and let me know how that goes. And I hope this opens the door for new ideas and connecting with your teen and building something with each other. I think that's a beautiful thing. I know parents as adults, we tend to have this barrier of I have to shield my child from seeing me and worrying about me. And if you are building out the positive version of that negative I am statement, you are showing your child how to be healthy. You are leading by example, and you are giving the space for them to see you are human, to understand and connect with you on another level, and also to hold you accountable. Yeah, we're going to hold each other accountable in love and in grace. And so I am going to end this episode with two affirmations that I hope you use, and if you want to tweak them or change them or not use them at all, I am leaving that up to you. But the first one is I am one with my true self. I am one with my true self. And my other affirmation is I am worthy of love and care. I am worthy of love and care. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm sending you all love, and I will talk to you guys later.